Talk Breakfast.
Good morning and welcome to News Talk Breakfast with me, Ivan Yates, and Chris Donoghue.
Thanks, Ivan. All eyes on Brussels this morning. But first, let's get news headlines with Kathy Madden.
Good morning. The Finance Minister will meet the EU Commissioner, who's responsible for the approval of...
16 people came to Dublin in search of a job. They've come to battle it out to be Bill Cullen's apprentice.
You guys and girls are the generation that grew up as Celtic Tiger cubs, and that era is over.
One of Ireland's most successful businessmen, self-made multi-millionaire and inner-city boy done good. He's offering the successful candidate a six-figure salary.
It was disrespectful. It was abuse.
To get the job, they'll have to work and live together for 13 relentless weeks, each week facing a tough business task.
There is no strategy involved here.
There is strategy and there is relationships being involved in this room.
This is the ultimate job interview.
You are fired. You are fired. You're fired.
Last week on The Apprentice.
And the winner of this process will join my organisation as a key player.
Bill met his 16 new candidates and decided to mix things up.
Carl, you will be leading the girls. And Ciara, you will be leading the boys. So please change over.
With a straightforward sales task as their first challenge, both teams had to maximise profits. Project manager for the girls, Carl, failed to rein in his corporate team.
To be quite honest, we haven't had any sales.
Try for the next 10 minutes for an appointment. If you don't have an appointment, I wouldn't cold call. I'd come back here.
I think that we would all be in agreement that we might spend another half an hour just to see if we could get 1 or 2 appointments.
Or make any sales.
You didn't make any decisions. You didn't sell anything. Carl, you are fired.
Understood. And he became the first casualty of the boardroom.
Hello.
5:30 a.m. and both teams have been summoned to a meeting with Bill in a city centre location to find out what he has in store for them on task number 2.
Guys, we only have 30 minutes. Wake up. For the girls, no nail polish, hair tied back. Okay, quickly, 30 minutes.
Good morning, candidates.
Good morning, Bill.
And welcome to the Fáilte Ireland HQ. And joining us this morning, we have Fiona Gratzer, who is the Managing Director of Unislim. And with her is Ray McKeown, who's the Sales Director of Today FM. Fiona, would you like to start off this week's task?
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, candidates.
Good morning, Fiona.
Unislim was started almost 40 years ago by my mum, Agnes McCourt, when she wanted to lose some weight after having me. Your task today is actually twofold. Firstly, from Unislim's point of view, I would like you to please devise a one-day original healthy eating menu for somebody who has a busy lifestyle so that they can follow our plan with a healthy breakfast, lunch and an evening meal. So good luck with that. And I'm going to hand you over now to Ray McKeown, who's the Sales and Advertising Director of Today FM, and he's going to tell you about the second part of your task.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You've been set a task today to create a radio advert for Unislim that will be aired on Today FM, and also plan a campaign on the station based on a budget of €10,000. We're known as a fun, interactive station, with comedy playing a huge part in our everyday broadcasts. So don't be afraid to try something new and different when creating your radio ad. Best of luck.
Thank you.
This is a huge assignment that I'm setting you now. It's complicated. And I do want to see some effective time management, as well as some military teamwork. Do you get that?
Yes, Bill.
And the next time I see all of you will be in my boardroom, when one of you will be fired.
The teams stay the same as last week, with Ciara remaining on the boys' team Elevate. Both teams have been supplied with a kitchen and a recording engineer. They've also got a professional photographer and designer who will help with their presentation material for tomorrow. Bill has given both teams €250 seed money, but first they must pick their PMs.
My experience though in advertising is more online, but definitely I would feel comfortable being the project manager.
I'm happy to put myself forward. I interned in an advertising company, so it's not a huge amount of advertising experience, but total marketing background.
I'd love a crack at the menu.
Yeah, I think I have some strengths on each side, but I think you're the man for the PM role.
It's between Panos and David.
No, I'm just worried about the radio side. If somebody has experience on the radio side, because I have no...
I think what I would propose then is I take PM and have you as sub-PM on the food side.
Perfect.
I'd agree with that.
OK.
Elevate's project manager is 27-year-old David O'Byrne, who has recently returned from living in New York, where he worked in marketing for 4 years.
I would consider myself to be a strategic thinker, pretty analytical, use that mode of thinking to get the big ideas that can help win a task.
You must present your radio advert, your marketing strategy and your one-day menu to Unislim and Today FM on day 2.
As well as producing a 30-second radio advert to promote their new Unislim menu, they have a fictional €10,000 media spend and must structure their marketing strategy across Today FM's radio schedule.
Anybody want to?
I would really like to take this. I've about 5 years experience working with food throughout college and kitchens, so I do have an eye for that. With regards to advertising, I did cover it within college.
I do have experience in the marketing side. I have worked in radio advertising before. I've been present at a radio reporting,
I think if you were
which
PM,
I think will be helpful.
Well, I'd like to go PM on this as well, because obviously I've got a lot of experience in marketing communications, obviously including broadcast ads as well.
If I wasn't putting myself forward for this one, I don't know what task I would.
If we decide that we'd like to kind of on
I would
on
definitely
both
like
sides.
you to be sub-PM.
Yeah. Okay. So we decided then that we...
Are you good with that?
Fusion have selected 26-year-old Waterford native Najat Faraj.
To get ahead in this year's competition and ultimately get to the final and win, I'm going to be absolutely 100% myself. I'm going to remain focused. I'm going to keep my eye on the ball. I'm going to make sure I get the job done.
The first thing I actually want to do is the team division. Yeah. What I'd prefer to do, guys, is to actually make that split now, so that the food guys don't have to listen to all our stuff and vice versa.
Can we just have one before we just do it? I just want to know what you have to do today.
OK, well, 5 minutes, guys.
OK.
I want you out as soon as possible.
Give them a bell there.
We should actually create our menu before we step off and buy it.
I would love an input on the radio, because I did do radio campaigns and stuff like that, so...
I want to get you out there on the road going shopping.
We're going to go...
After only 20 minutes, Team Elevate decide to split. With Barry in charge of the menu team, they head off to buy their ingredients.
This is a great task. Huge amount of work to be done on this, little amount of time to do it, and I'm glad to see David O'Byrne stepping up to the plate straight away. Came up very strongly, badly wants to do this task and prove himself. However, I question the amount of experience he has. This could cost his team dearly.
The teams must produce an exciting and original one-day healthy eating menu, which Fiona Grazza will sample at the end of today. The menu must follow guidelines set down by Unislim.
They're real tight.
Can I just say one thing? No noodles are the devil. Okay.
I'm really impressed with the food team. They got off the blocks very quickly this morning. They got out shopping, got all their ingredients. They seem to be ticking all the boxes regards ingredients, their carbohydrates, their fats. So I'm really impressed with them. And Barry's doing a great job. He seems to know what he's talking about. However, I'm a little bit worried about Ciara. She seems to be a little bit isolated, and she doesn't seem to be joining in either and making her intentions heard.
Okay.
Should we go for the butcher?
Well, we don't actually... Let's not fry them.
I'd
just drop them on top.
She seems to be isolated from the guys. They don't seem to be interacting with her. She's sulking a little bit. So she needs to up her game, because, you know, the guys are really pushing ahead of her and she's not showing herself up as she should.
We actually need to think of what we're actually
going to do.
We do. We might have
12 o'clock. And after almost 3 hours of discussion, led by PM Najat, the girls have accomplished very little.
I mean, cottage cheese is great for you. I like the idea.
I like the idea of cottage cheese.
Najat and the team spent 3 hours this morning strategising with very little action. So much for Bill's instruction to them, military-style time management, because there was very, very little of it. I, quite frankly, would have been expecting an awful lot more from them. This should be a walk in the park for those girls.
This team are broken up into two totally different types of dynamics. On one side, we've Barry. He's buzzing. He's got a great team going. Time management spot on. He knows what he's doing and he's very, very confident in his abilities. On the other side, we've David, Will, Panos and Jamie. And honestly, there's more humour inside a funeral parlour.
She picks up the phone and calls the boyfriend.
The boyfriend basically says, hello, Kim. Basically, are you out of work yet?
You're going to be
Perfect.
saying it.
Are you out of work yet?
I'm running late as usual. I don't understand the
Here, I'll read it.
Basically.
That was. Sure. Have you been hired as a chef?
No. There is a difference. We have hired Unislim. We can lose up to £10 in 5 weeks.
Oh no! Don't tell me I have to start counting the calories and points.
Oh no, the only thing you'll be counting will be the inches off your waist. Unislim has devised a weekly diet plan and shopping list with delicious options to choose from. And then he kind of and he leads on. We're not going to be alone doing this either. We have access to a nutritionist to give us advice on unislim.com.
We're lacking humour.
Yeah, I mean, there's no punchline at the end at all.
No, we haven't actually finished it.
Oh, I know.
Okay. How long is the slots?
We're doing 30 seconds.
Do you think you could read that in 30 seconds? It's not happening. Not happen. 30 seconds now, it has to be to the point.
Yeah.
Really, really to the point.
The whole speech needs to be cut in half.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that David has been told his radio script has absolutely no humour in it whatsoever, he's still persisting with the same script. His lack of experience is really coming to bear here now.
That's not funny though.
What's not funny?
The only thing we'll be counting is the inches off her waist.
Well, that was actually going to be the only thing we'll be counting is the inches off her waist. Not that you needed love.
Yeah.
Which we don't have the time, so it's still not funny.
Oh, girls, the meringues, I have them here.
2
okay?
o'clock, and Team Fusion have finally split. Najette, Tara and Niamh Humphreys have got their provisions and get a call from the radio team.
How did you do it? You were eating burgers and chips.
It's quick and easy. It's online. All you have to do is go to unislim.ie and all you need is there. I didn't have to go to any classes. And then we're going to finish up with a call to action and a jingle.
Yeah.
Perfect. I really like it, but I think you need to put in something like the naughty but nice, you know.
That's what we're working on, that's the jingle.
Yeah, we're going to do a jingle for that.
And are you okay with time to get all of that in?
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, fair play, girls. I don't think it's cheesy, I think it's really funny.
Team Fusion have decided to end their ad with a musical jingle and have arranged a meeting with a jingle writer to brief him on their thoughts.
It's going to kind of go something like, we can look like him with Unislim. He looks so trim. And the music to kind of go, da-da-da-da-da-da, kind of with it. And it's as simple as that for about 4 or 5 seconds.
Grant.
I left home at 15. I decided that was old enough. And I went out and soon learned very quickly that you need to work hard, otherwise you can't eat and you can't pay the rent. We can look like him with Unislim. He looks so trim.
You've written it already. That sounds fine to me.
That's all it is really.
Well, I'll take what we just recorded briefly on the phone there and I'll use that as the basis. So it's their creative work, but I'll put instrumentation together with it and just make it ready for the singers tomorrow.
It's now 3:50 p.m. and after much deliberation, Team Elevate arrive at Today FM to record their 30-second advert.
I originally came up with the idea along with Panos. We went with that and the rest of the individuals came back after lunch, and when we were trying to pitch our ad to them, they weren't really impressed by it. They felt that there wasn't as much humour in it. I strongly disagree with that, and that's why ultimately we stuck with the pitch that we have. I think by getting the certain characters that we have sourced through the voiceovers, I think it does come across as a humorous ad, so I'm glad we stuck with it.
Unislim.com has all the answers, and we can lose £10 in 5 weeks following their simple diet plans.
I've had enough of counting calories and points.
The only thing we'll be counting is the inches off our waist. Not that you'll need it, love. Unislim.com has delicious daily eating plans to follow online.
Visit unislim.com today for our latest daily menus.
37.
Ouch. We read that pretty quick.
Yeah, this one has to go. The only thing we'll be counting is the inches off her waist.
That got a laugh though. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If it came out at 37 seconds, can you have a 30-second ad space, or is it only come in 30s and 40s blocks of 10?
30s and 40s, yeah.
The task started quite well, positively. The things went kind of downhill after lunch. When the stress kicked in, basically David became a little bit weaker project manager, started listening more to Will and Jamie, being scared that if he would not listen their opinions, he would be shut down in